Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Felipe Rael, and I'm the Executive Director of the Greater Albuquerque Housing Partnership. On behalf of our Board of Directors, our staff, and all of our partners, we'd like to invite you here for the grand opening of PAH Hiland Plaza. The first person I'd like to invite up to speak about what PAH means to them will be Lisa McNiven with the Deaf Culture Center of New Mexico.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm so pleased to see you all here at this special day. And really, this took about 30 years in the making for us to get to this moment here today. So I have prepared some words today. It's really hard to really encapsulate all of the feelings in only 5 minutes. It feels truly impossible to say all of the things that I have been feeling and what this moment means, but I'll try my best. So first I'd like to share that the DCC Center, Deaf Cultural Center, was started in 1994. And our vision in the beginning was to share deaf culture, and we wanted to have a building to provide that space for sharing deaf culture. And once this event is done, you will get to see the building where this gets to happen. In 2007, we had the first steps towards creating an accessible apartment complex here in Albuquerque. We wanted to have an affordable apartment complex for our community. And so myself, Chad, Jenny Bennett, who's here with us today, she is in the front row, Jenny Bennett. If you want to raise your hand, Jenny, so folks can see you. Waiting just one moment for the interpreter. There she is. There's Jenny. So some folks came to me several years ago and mentioned needing housing and a place where you could communicate freely and effectively in a place where you live. And so we started those conversations several years ago, and after Jenny came to me, I realized how right she was and how much our community deserves to have a place and space where you live that has equitable communication. And so there was another person who came to me who had some of the same dream, a deaf blind man. I'm not sure if you remember David Chi. He has since passed, but he would tell me time and time again, and ask that we needed to have a building and a space like this made for us. And we know that it takes patience and time for all of this to happen. A third person who came and asked for these efforts to be made was also a deafblind person who has passed as well, Annie Claw. For several years, they just wanted to live in a space where they had communication. And so through this team and people that have worked so hard within our deaf community, we have deaf, deaf-blind, Deaf Plus folks who have really strived and put in their best work to create a community here. And so this means so much to me. In the time when we were struggling most, the biggest effort was to never give up, because we did face several barriers. We hit lots of roadblocks, problem after problem. We couldn't imagine all of the challenges that we would have faced in our road to get here, but we didn't give up. Some people have left and came back and were a part of this project, and I'm so grateful for the participation of everybody involved to make this happen. So it is crucial to have an affordable, accessible apartment such as this, because it reduces loneliness, isolation, insurmountable amounts of stress in our community when folks have an equitable language place to live. And so this provides a space for people to share their traditions and their language with each other in the same complex. And so this is how PAH, Hiland Plaza, came to be. What happened is we met a representative from the Greater Albuquerque Housing Partnership here about 3 years ago. Several folks who are here today is who we met with. And we asked for 4 separate things with our mission. We wanted to prioritize residences for deaf and hard of hearing folks, and they were amiable to that. We also wanted to provide a space where deaf people could work, where they live and work in the same place, which they agreed to. We also wanted to have the DCC Cultural Center within our same space here in the complex. They agreed as well. We also, the last and most important, we asked to name the building. And PAH, as you know, means finally, at last. So PAH, we have made it. We have gotten to the point that we have strived for. It has happened. Let's see, Kelly, many of the other folks within the Greater Albuquerque Partnership. Let's see, I'm trying to think of all of my other folks. There's Wendy, I know I've forgotten some of you, but I want to thank all of the folks within the Greater Albuquerque Housing Partnership who really helped us make this dream happen, and all of your hard work to help us for this dream that is now here for us. And so the team that was a board, I can't name everybody who's been involved in this project from years past until now. There have been so many people that have just came and went. Some folks who are a part of the DCC has moved or passed on, and we keep these folks in our memory and in our hearts, and we're so pleased that this has happened in honor of many of these folks. We want to thank the legislators as well, legislators of New Mexico who have supported us in our efforts, provided opportunities and funding to make our dreams come true. I'd also like to thank my family today. Carol and Micah, my wife and son, have put up with me with every outing and meetings and being gone at various times, and I really appreciate their support and patience with my service for our community. I'd also like to thank my parents and sister who have believed in me through this long journey. I would also like to thank our current board of directors and you all too, who have made this day possible. And we know that the service here and the work that we're doing to make this possible isn't done. After the ribbon is cut and we have gone for the day, I have to tell you the truth, I've been thinking about what it's going to look like in my future. I really have dreamed about this for years to come, and it feels as if my role is almost going to disappear after that ribbon is cut, which is not true. I'm going to be around here to support our community. I will be here for many years to come to support our deaf folks here in Albuquerque. So, your dreams have come true. Thank you all. Thank you everyone.
Thank you, Lisa, and all of the leadership and all the folks that make up the Deaf Culture Center. We are very proud to be your partner on this beautiful building, and hopefully, I can't believe we met all 4 of your conditions. I kind of forgot those initial conversations, but this is a great day. Like the DCC, which was formed 29 years ago, the Greater Albuquerque Housing Partnership was formed a little over 30 years ago. And it was established as the first citywide community housing development organization, or CHODO. And being a CHODO allows us access to some very specific pass-through federal funds called home funds. And so I'd like to invite to the stage Carol Pierce, the director of, let's see if I get this right, Health, Housing, and Homelessness. So thank you, Carol.
Thank you so much, Felipe. It's really an honor to be here. And I remember when this dream set forth, and it is an honor for the city to really contribute funding toward this important project. I really want to say, as I went back and remembered what meant, I heard you say at last or finally, but also when I looked it up, it's a sense of joy. And I can feel that here today. It is a sense of joy that our community is supported and in a beautiful new location. So it's an honor and a privilege for the city to provide about $4 million for this project because of working with the Greater Albuquerque Housing Partnership for over 30 years. And it's because of these partnerships that we can really do great things in our community. We're really excited that this beautiful project will be mixed income, and we in the city believe this is the best kind of housing projects we can do. Just like we're all in it together, and it's for all of our community, and we can lift everybody up. But really excited, and thank you for never giving up. That's how really great dreams come true. Thank you, Felipe, for a great partnership over these many years. And we're really excited that our new Hiland Plaza here will be right on Central, easy transportation, and really create a great community. And we're delighted to be a part of this project. So thank you.
So like the department has changed from Department of Family and Community Services, we've had some folks come and work with us with the city that have been on our accounts and worked with us for a long time, and other folks that are new to us. So all of the city staff, we thank you for all of what you guys do every day. And we think it's a great partnership, and we're trying to help the city meet your action plan, meet your consolidated plan, and the big vision that the city councilors and the mayor has for this city. At this point, I'd like to invite up Izzy Hernandez from the New Mexico Mortgage Finance Authority.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. It just seems like yesterday or not too long ago that we were doing the virtual groundbreaking, and I was looking it up. It was, I guess, May of 22, so it's been about a year and a half since we had that virtual groundbreaking, and it's great to see these communities come to fruition. It's a great way to celebrate Albuquerque's only housing community that was designed with and for the deaf, blind, and hard of hearing residents. As you can tell from the little banner over here, there's a lot of partners involved in this. The City of Albuquerque, Carol just spoke. I know the Albuquerque Public Housing Authority also contributed some vouchers, and the MFA was able to allocate some low-income housing tax credits towards this. Want to congratulate everybody that was involved in this. I know it's a long road, especially when you layer on a lot of partners and funding sources. It makes it a little more complicated. And today is a reflection of the great partnership to bring these developments together. And MFA is very proud to be a partner in this community. For those of you that may not know, and actually before I forget, we have several MFA staff here. Maybe if we can, there's a lot of folks standing here, so maybe if you can raise your hand up and want to say thank you to the MFA staff that's around here now. For those of you that may not know, MFA is the state's housing agency, and we provide affordable housing resources for the full continuum of housing from homelessness to home ownership. And we do it all with great partners such as the Greater Albuquerque Housing Partnership. We have close to 400 partners across the state that help us deliver 40 programs across the state at the local level. Thanks to the support of our board and our legislators, we were able to allocate about $16 million worth of tax credits towards this development here. Those tax credits really help keep the rents affordable for the long term, and so they are directly contribute to that. This community is one of 52 separate communities that we currently have that are at one stage of construction or another across the state, and we're thankful for the partnerships that we have similar to this one here. And Felipe, thank you to you and your team, and congratulations.
saw today's Albuquerque Business Journal. It said that this property or this project cost about $21 million. 16 of that, and then we'll explain a little bit more with Dan in a minute, came in the form of low-income housing tax credits. Coupled with the home funds by the city of Albuquerque, what that means is that we're targeting 100% of the units here to folks under 80% of median income. And each of that, there's been additional deep income targeting at 60% of area median income, 50%, and 30% of area median income. It's because of those deep subsidies from our partners that helped us keep the rent affordable, where it's targeted that each household would pay no more than 30% of their household income towards rent and utilities each month. I'd also like to point out Albuquerque Housing Authority supported this project with 23 project-based vouchers. So I see Sean in the back, if you can just raise your hand representing Albuquerque Housing Authority. And I know you forgot your name, but I know Brian. Thank you guys for all the work you do. Last I checked, the waiting list for the project-based vouchers on this project was in the hundreds, if not the thousands. It just speaks to the deep need for places that, one, utilize those vouchers, but those households that need that assistance. With those vouchers, the resident paid absolutely 30% of their income in rent, with the voucher making up the difference, so we can keep the lights on and keep our staff paid. It's there. I think it's just me. So to this point, when we submit to the MFA, we submit to the Albuquerque Housing Authority, we submit to the city, it's just some pretty pictures on a page and a dream. It takes some folks with some boots on the ground to deliver this project. And so I'd like to invite Shad James from Janes Corporation.
Thank you, Felipe. On behalf of Janes and our employee owners, we're very proud to be here today. We build a lot of projects around the city and around the state, but few have impact like this, so we're grateful. We're really proud to be a part of this project. I'd like to acknowledge the architects and the engineers that we worked with and thank them for their efforts. And there are some folks here from our company, the Janes Corporation, that worked and put their own blood, sweat, and tears into this project in the back. If you guys might raise your hand and just take some acknowledgement, please. So on behalf of James, Felipe, Miriam, we appreciate your trust in us. We appreciate the opportunity to build this beautiful project for the community, and we're very proud to have been a part of it, and we thank you for that opportunity. Thank you very much.
So my wife, we moved back here when we were expecting our oldest son, Benson. And for us, it is important that we utilize local partners that have a deep commitment. So we're thankful to the relationship with Janes. I saw Fred Arfman in passing, Hartman Ujewski Design Group, other folks that we work with here in the city. It's important that everyone who swings a hammer or lays down carpet or puts up drywall, that they're able to provide a wage that can provide for their family. It's important that we keep those dollars here in New Mexico. But we're a big state, we're a poor state, and so we sometimes need outside funding to help make that happen. And so I'd like to invite my friend Dan Wendell here, all the way from Portland.
I think you just called me a carpetbagger. I'm from Oregon, so but I work for Raymond James Affordable Housing Investment. I'm Dan Wendell. I'm not used to seeing this thing in the sky that's hurting my eyes, so I had to go buy sunglasses today. But I have to say, being involved with GAP has always been a privilege. We've been able to do several transactions with a lot of impact. The assistance and the component of the deaf the Culture Center is unreal for us. I think it speaks to a lot of the need that the community has. I loved hearing about the history and how it works and how flexible all parties have been to make this happen. It's so important. And on behalf of us and our investors, I couldn't be more proud. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. The construction and permanent loan and also the deep part of the capital was provided by PNC Bank, which is relatively new to our market, in partnership with Raymond James. So I want to thank them for their investment in our community. At this point, I'd like to invite up Ketan Baratia from the Hartman and Majewski Design Group.
Long speech. Well, I think Chad, you broke the record, the shortest speech so far. So, first of all, I would like to thank you on behalf of Hartman Majewski. We're both humble and excited to contribute to the vision of this groundbreaking project for the community. Can you guys hear me? I don't speak too loud, so I'll try to speak loud. Can you hear me now? So we're both humble and excited to contribute to the vision of this groundbreaking project today for this community. This engagement with GAP actually marks our third collaboration. The first one, Plaza Ciudadania, Casa Feliz in the International District, and this project. And each adventure has been a distinctive chapter in our collective mission of building sustainable and inclusive communities. Now, I would like to emphasize some alignment of the vision of Greater Albuquerque and Design Group. So at GAP, the guiding principle is envisioning a future where everyone has the opportunity to find community and joy in a home of their choice. Similarly, at Hartman Majewski Design Group, our ethos resolves around creating relationships and communities that endure over time. This alignment and vision is what makes our collaboration so fruitful. So thank you, Felipe. Thank you, Miriam, Kelly, everyone, for giving this opportunity. There are some unique aspects of this project that has been discussed. So we have paid a very close attention from lighting to acoustics to the color, so that it's all catering to the deaf, blind, and hard of hearing communities. We brought a special consultant to help with this design. They are called LCM architects, and even the acoustical engineer to help making sure that everything that is with design, it meets the hearing community on this thing. You have seen probably the design of this building, and I just want to kind of bring the basic principles of inspiration that we have behind the design. So this site used to be the old motel, the Desert Sand Motel. There was a movie shot, No Country for Old Men, I believe. And so it has a very streamlined modern motel architecture. So we wanted to pay respect to the Route 66, historic Route 66 Central. So we brought some very streamlined modern architecture. Your sweeping moves, curves, and the colors that kind of complement. On the central, you see the red color that emphasizes the commercial. On the blue, the sage blue color emphasizes the residential edge that forming along the Jackson. So one of the other thing is the universal design. I do want to point out, and I'm very thankful to Miriam Hicks, the Director of Housing at GAP. And she was very keen on making sure that we design this community to make sure every unit has universal accessibility, which is basically, regardless of age and ability, we want to make sure that there is an accessibility at every part of the building here. Sustainability that I would like to talk is we are actually striving for LEED Platinum. We may be able to get there, but definitely LEED Gold certificate. LEED is basically leadership in energy and environmental design. So thank you, GAP, for also supporting the sustainability in our community for that. And I would like to, before we conclude, I would like to extend my heartfelt appreciation for our dedicated design team members whose expertise and commitment have been invaluable in bringing this vision to life. To some of our design group community, the team members are here. So if you can raise your hand, Doug Majewski, the CEO here, and Victor Munoz is not here, but he was the main designer on this project. Lucy Vidal, the interior designer on this thing, with beautiful finishes on the project. Lawrence Garcia, one of the intern architect design on this one, and Robert Brumfield, who did the construction administration. And sorry to take a little bit long, but I do want to thank our engineering consultants who made everything possible. Consensus Planning, who did the entitlement, Isaacson and Arfman, civil engineering. Plan Collaborative, formerly known as MRWM Architects, who did the landscape design on this. QPEC for structural, RSIT for mechanical and plumbing, ACE Engineering for electrical, Green Insight for lead and HERS rating, SLR for acoustical design, and LCM for accessibility. Thank you. Thank you again for this opportunity.
I'm sorry, I'm just checking. Let's try that. Use your outside voice.
There's a couple other folks I've seen in the back of the room. Dan Pick, Laughing Pick and Her, Kathy Becky, Fidelity National Title. Thank you guys for being part of that team. I'd like to thank the team from Monarch Properties. You'll kind of see them all in the back. Pretty much the entire team showed up today. They helped us with whatever they needed. We've worked with a lot of different architects. This is our fourth project with Hartman and Majewski. This is our fourth of fifth project with Raymond James. This is our second, going on 3 with Janes Corporation. I can't even count how much we've done with the MFA in the city. So thank you guys for everyone that takes it. And thank you for Monarch for all that you guys do. I'd like now to thank the team at the Greater Albuquerque Housing Partnership. Every day we work to build a better Albuquerque. Miriam Hicks, our Director of Housing Development, found this site and drove why this would be an amazing opportunity for our organization and for the city. Thank you, Miriam, for bringing your whole self to work every day. Kelly Signet, our Director of Operations. They're saying if you ever want something done, ask a busy person. I know I can always rely on Kelly to help me with all the back office stuff that we need to keep the organization running. And we work on a project for 2 to 3 years on the front end. She's working on them from 2 to 3 years before to 45 years and beyond. So some of these decisions we might not always see. Lori Frappier, thank you so much. This event was her doing, telling our story each and every day. Thank you, Lori.
The mic is not my fault.
I see, I do not see David. David Poole, I think he's out, but himself and Kenzie Davison, they're the folks at GAP that the residents and the team see every day. They are the face of GAP. And thank you guys for keeping everything moving, all of our social services, our offerings for our residents. Our newest team member, Bob Satowski. See Bob in the back. Thank you, Bob. You're gonna see more of him as these projects go along. He just joined us from Connecticut, so he's a Yankee, but we won't call him a carpetbagger. And then Arlene at the office. So I always feel like I'm running around with my head cut off because my wife says I just need to slow down and work. But Arlene keeps me grounded and everything in the back office. And our intern Danielle, thank you for everything. She's gonna probably post about a zillion pictures of this and help and help tell our stories. So thank you to the GAP team each and every day. And to our board of directors. I think we have some here in our board president, Don Dudley, one of our board members, Sarah Hurtau, Russell Brito. Did I miss any of our board members? And she jumped right in. I'd just like to have City Councilor Renee Grout stand up and give a wave. And so we got to meet City Councilor Grout on our last project and our next project, and thank you for your vision for the city and your leadership. We've talked a little about our team. Everything that we do for the residents. We have over 700 households call a Greater Albuquerque Housing Partnership property home. We would not be here for each of one of you that decided to come and look, put in an application, and call this place home. And so we thank each and every one of you for choosing Hiland Plaza to be home. And to explain a little bit about what that means, I'm going to ask our friend Jules Nelson to come up and speak. And so on behalf of the Greater Albuquerque Housing Partnership, our board of directors, and our staff, I want to thank you for coming out today, and we're going to finish on a high note with our friend Jules. Thank you.
All right. Wow. What a great crowd. Should I go ahead? I think I will. Okay, folks. So I am originally from Minnesota. I am a deaf-blind resident. I'm partially blind in one eye and the other one's not so good. But I decided to move from Minnesota to Albuquerque. I had friends pushing me for quite some time since last year to move, and I didn't really see the need in it, and over time they convinced me, and so I thought that I would come, and I came for 3 different reasons here to Albuquerque. The first of which is communication, which folks had mentioned before. Jennifer had said earlier that Lisa was saying that we want to have a community in which we can freely communicate with each other, which PAH has, which is tremendous. So that's first on the list. That was satisfied. The next one being affordable housing, which is something that I need, that PAH also provides. Then the third being, well, I'll tell you a bit about my own feelings, because I have progressively gone blind, and I'll admit that it has been a rather difficult road. It's been hard, but it's so lovely to know that PAH also comes with a variety of services. SSP, special service providers for our community. And it's hard for me to admit in my challenges here, but to know that PAH has the services, the office, the communication, everything here in one singular place. These are all reasons why I decided to make the move here. The last one being, too, I came to Albuquerque early July for a primary visit. I met with Chad and his stack of forms that I had to sign. There were so many forms. My hand started to hurt, and I still had to sign more forms even afterwards. I'm exaggerating just a little bit, only a little bit. But, so, I saw Chad, met with him, and then I got to see my best friend Lisa. Some other folks here from Minnesota were with me as well, and asking whether or not I had decided if I was going to move. And I said, well, yes. I might not look dead, folks. I'm just shocked. I'm 64, going on 65, and I'm going to move from one side of the country to the other, north to south. What in the world am I getting myself into? And so these folks were so pleased and excited that I was going to move. They asked me, "Are you really going to do it?" And I said that I would. And so they took me to Old Town. We sat at a nice New Mexican restaurant, and we had with us a pitcher of margaritas, which is a great way to celebrate, isn't that so? I'm sure you all would agree. So while we're drinking and chatting and talking all in the middle of this restaurant, just out of the dear blue sky, one of my friends, Bud, one of my high school friends from Minnesota, happened to be in Albuquerque. And I thought, what in the world is this Minnesotan doing in Albuquerque? A person I knew back in high school. I thought, okay, well, no, it can't be them. That's not important, right? But all that to say, let's see. Okay, so let me think where I am. So I have communication, affordable housing, friends, best friends. I'm trying to think what else we have. So this ultimately is going to be my new home. Albuquerque will be my home. So, all that to say, I've moved, I'm here, and so of course you have to bring a few things with you, you lose a few things with you. I lost a couple of things. I've got a missing necklace, a couple of missing bracelets and things from here and there that I can't find, and so of course I was devastated. What in the world was I going to do without some of these keepsakes? However, let me tell you, I found this lovely book. So this is one of the best books. If any folks ever want to know tiny little nuggets about deaf culture, this is the place to go. So I'll tell you that I was a teacher for 40 years. So that gives you an idea about my age. Don't tell anybody. But so I did 40 years of teaching ASL. 40 very long years. And in that time, I gave this book to my students as a reward, making it to the end of the semester. So, in this little nugget of a book, there is one story that I would like to share with you. It's a short one. So, let's see. I see there's a different sign here in New Mexico for honeymoon, but this is my sign. Is that the honeymoon sign? Yep, we've got comments from the audience. There's a couple different signs. So this is mine for honeymoon. So you got a kiss and then you go good night. You know what the rest happens after. So the story goes, on this honeymoon, there's a young couple. They've gotten married and they are getting ready to spend their first night together as a married couple. Now during the middle of the night, the husband leaves and comes back to go get food and doesn't want to wake up the wife and says, okay, well, you sleep. I'm going to leave and come back after getting snacks when we're staying at the motel. However, he gets back and he realizes his giant mistake in not remembering which room he left from. So his idea was, now I don't know, so the boy thought, what to do? I'm in the parking lot waiting for my lovely wife, so I'm going to lean on the horn. I'll be as loud as I possibly can. I'm sure you can all imagine having a screeching horn at 2 o'clock in the morning. And so what happens is all of the lights in the entire motel come on, every single one except for one room. And so the man takes his hand off the horn, gets out of the car, goes up to the motel and knows that his beautiful deaf wife was sleeping through his horn honking. So sorry for all of the hearing folks in the motel, but so it's a funny joke for our community. So now hearing people here in our crowd understand that this is a deaf space. And so you have to think now, what in the world are we going to do here? Sometimes if we forget something, we have to come back and we can't get in. And what are we going to do? And so if you can imagine, we might, we'll figure out something. But I would just like to close and extend my heartfelt thank you to the DCC, the Deaf Cultural Center. Thank you all so very much. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you everybody for coming today too. Thank you so much.